Hello, wait. Hello, welcome. My name is Calvin, and this channel has kind of just become about random things at this point. And I guess about like me, my interests in general. If you guys don't know, I make music under Getaway Stranger. So this is just a channel where I just like do kind of anything I want essentially. If I want to talk about music I like, I talk about that. If I want to talk about topics I like, I talk about that. If I just want to make a random short that's just me like being weird and random, I'll do that. It isn't even planned, but I have like a whole thing of ice cream for the topic I'm going to talk about today, which is funny because, you know, throughout the process, you're going to be eating a lot of it. Really good shit. This is a nice like triple blend. But I'm not going to go around acting like I'm some sort of, insane love guru or relationship expert or anything, you know, around that. I'm 20 years old, and I went through my very first breakup with my first love ever when I was 19. So to give you some perspective, so I'm 20 now. The breakup happened November 11th, 2023, which has a lot of irony to it because 1111 means like I think it's like some like numbers of love or something like that, or like something like that. And that's the day I got dumped. I got dumped in a pretty bad way, as unexpected, no warning. It was around the time of our 2-year anniversary, so I had like this photo book gift in my hand that I made for this person, and essentially was just told like, hey, it's over, my clothes were just given to me, and she just took off, and that was the last of it. So pretty sudden, and there's like more backstory to it that I'm not going to talk about because it's just very heavy stuff. So I guess I feel inclined to make this because I'm at a point in time in my life where so here's the thing, right? I feel like you're kind of never going to be 100% healed. Don't take that the wrong way. I just mean it's an elusive thing. Like those scars are always going to be there, but you can take those life experiences with you and use those as knowledge to how you can go about, you know, say another relationship in the future, you know, with a better head on your shoulders. You have that experience to carry with you, and it doesn't have to bring you down. So I guess when I say you're never going to be 100% healed, I just mean you always kind of have more to learn, I guess, you know, and you're always going to have that experience with you. But it doesn't mean it has to, you know, hold you back, you know, from greater things in the future, or finding love again in the future. And this isn't something, I feel like some people may feel like, oh, you know, some people like, you know, they'll say some cheery advice about going through breakups when they're already in like a new relationship. So it's like, who are you when to talk when you have love? Listen, I'm saying this, I'm making this video as a 100% single dude who has completely, I feel like, you know, at least to the point of healing where I'm happy again. I feel like myself again. It was kind of a long period to get there, from November 11th, honestly, all the way up until like pretty recently. I feel like that person was still me, but me just under a lot of layers of just grief. Because I guess it may be a bit different for me because along with the breakup in 2023, I went through a lot of death as well. But I'm going to be focusing on the breakup here because I think it's kind of similar to, as in, you know, the way you process it is kind of like grief in a sense. So I'm just going to be talking about my story, how I got to the point of being as healed as I am. Keep in mind, this wasn't some like, you know, some like little fling thing. Like this was like a real like, really like, I thought this person was like my everything for like 2 years, you know. So this is very real, you know, come from real experience, but also young experience. I'm only 20. The relationship started November 6th when I was 17. I initiated it and ended when I was 19 years old, November 11th. So give you some perspective, a little over 2 years there. Essentially, I guess I'm gonna be talking about. I don't know why I'm laughing. This isn't a funny topic. Okay, I'm gonna skip all the bullshit. Okay, step one. All right, for me, music is my best friend. Whether, especially when I'm going through, you know, any trauma, any heartbreak, anything like that, right? So when I, you know, first went through it, I wrote this song called Solstice that I put on Getaway Stranger. I made that song pretty quickly. The demo for it was already I already kind of made it beforehand, like months beforehand. And then I wrote the lyrics and everything and the melody kind of as soon as it happened. It was really weird because I I was processing it, but kind of creating at the same time. What happened was, as soon as the breakup happened, I remember I was just kind of like in shock. I called up my friend Evan. I was like, Evan, just come over. I need someone to talk to. I need someone to kind of just distract me and just like to kind of to let my brain out to just like process everything that happened. So I had my friend Evan over, and he just watched me go through like instrumentals. Like I produce and sing and all that. So he like watched me go through like instrumentals on my desktop, just trying to like, I probably looked crazy. Just trying to find like just something I could like create into something that became like Solstice. Which is like a breakup song, I guess. So essentially, writing music or putting it into any art form is something I heavily recommend. Pour it into your passions as much as you can, and I really emphasize this enough. Feel those feelings through, whether you're a guy or a dude. By the way, this video applies to both male or female, anyone, okay, who's going through a breakup, because I think for both sides, I feel like sometimes dudes can take longer to actually really recover from breakup because they don't allow themselves to feel those feelings as much. Which, by the way, you want to know one of the most manly fucking things you can do is cry that shit out. Honestly, that's one of the most masculine, manly things you could do, alright? Is cry it out. Despite what society may have taught you over the years, fucking cut it out, okay? Because you aren't going to be able to really heal unless you feel those feelings through. Otherwise, it's going to be bunched up in there, and if you get into a relationship in the future, guess what? You're going to have a lot of baggage from the past relationship in there. Okay, so you want to feel all those feelings through. Okay, which means you have to avoid escapism as much as you can, to whatever degree. I just mean, if it gets to the point where it's something heavily destructive to your health, you got to cut it out, and you have to feel those feelings through. Like, I think, like, in those moments, it's cool to allow yourself to, like, I don't know, binge eat some fucking ice cream, just go wild on snacks, just, like, maybe just, watch your favorite YouTuber, favorite movie, sad movie, whatever, listen to music, cry, all those things, but to whatever extent that deep down is healthy. If you're fucking out here just snorting coke because you got, like, dumped or something, that's destructive to your health, and you're not really facing it, so just make sure, like, whatever escapism it's in a healthy degree to the point where you're still feeling those feelings through. You have to. That's the number one piece of advice I have, is you have to feel those feelings through. I'm an emotional person, so it's easy for me to say this. For some people, it may not be as easy, and there may be periods too where you feel numb. I remember there were like these massive waves where it's like I'd feel numb, I would cry it out, I would think, okay, I'm all good now. I'd feel low, I kind of feel numb, and I'd cry more about. And each time you kind of have a mental breakdown and like cry it out, you feel better each time, or at least more free. Maybe not initially feel better, because after a lot of these moments, it's like I would cry it out, I have like this breakdown, and I'd feel terrible. Then I'd go to bed, and then I'd wake up the next morning, then that's when I kind of feel a bit more light, like the baggage would be like a bit lighter, so. And on the topic of like art and like putting it into passions and stuff, one thing I advise, make yourself a playlist, a nice breakup playlist. I can link you mine. It's on my Spotify still. I keep it up because I don't know, just in case someone is going through what I did, they can see that I made it through and they can listen to that playlist. I don't know. I have my specific taste, but create something that's catered to your taste and your feelings, that you can just kind of have on loop to feel those feelings out. For me, the song Suicide Bends by Josh A was like everything. Like, I love that song still so much because it just captured what made that breakup so personal to me. The lyrics are very personal to that whole situation for me. So I feel like if you're gonna like listen to like music and stuff like that, like the more personal the lyrics are to your situation, the more it's going to resonate to you, and the more you're going to be able to feel those feelings through. We want to feel as much of it out, and it isn't very comfortable at first, I'm not going to lie, because honestly, in those moments, like I'm talking looking back at like March, kind of April-ish, February, like in those moments I kind of thought like I would have glimpses of, oh, I'm completely good, I'm free from this, wow. But then I would still feel that weight come back. So you have to be very patient with it. It's unfortunately, I wish I could say otherwise. Unfortunately, it's not really going to be an overnight process. It took me, we're in the beginning of July now. It happened end of November. That's like 8 months, right? For me, and that was 2 years, and it can vary. So, So really, the number one thing, the only way you can make this process faster is by feeling through those emotions faster. That doesn't mean rush them, all right, but just when they come up, allow them to come up, cry it out, all right, no matter who you are, okay, cry that shit out. Now the next piece of advice I have is something that can maybe be out of your control to an extent, because it's having a good support system around you. At the time I went through it, I don't want to sound ungrateful for the people I did have, because like I have my parents, I have some friends and all that, but honestly, I went through a lot of it alone, whether it be by choice or just because I actually didn't have much people. It's just the way I went through it. It's kind of a lot of those feelings, a lot of moments. I never had a shoulder to cry in or anything like that. That may sound sad, but it's just the way I went through it and stuff. But I advise, if you do have that available to you, if you have like a shoulder to cry into, if you have someone that can just be there with you, that's everything. I didn't really have that, so if you do have that, that's a huge. You're miles ahead of me. So utilize that tool. Really, if you have great friends, really, that this is the moment for you to see that they are really great friends. If they're there for you like that, maybe. And here's another thing, is you have to face those places that may trigger you, right? Or face those things. Maybe they're songs, maybe they're places, whatever it is. This isn't saying go face first and go look at. Oh yeah, this is another thing. Go no contact, dude. That's go no contact. It's the only way. I know it may suck. At least until you are healed, go no contact. All right, block or mute on everything, because not like, listen, even, and it's nothing against them. All right, it's nothing negative against them. You have to do this for yourself. This is a time where you have to completely focus everything into you and your healing. Like, look, ever since I went through my breakup, I have not seen a single picture of them, seen a single sighting of them, and I don't ever want to, ever again, if I'm being honest, all right? But that's part of the reason why I am feeling as good as I am today, is because I immediately cut off all contact, which it made it easier for me because I got broken up in a pretty sociopathic, terrible way. So it was easy for me to just call contact and be like, okay, yeah, that, if I'm not worthy of your time like that, then you're done, all right? So essentially, yeah, cut off all contact, and because I'm telling you, if you see a picture of them like that or whatever, it's just not a good idea, okay? It's obvious why. It's not, all right? Resist all temptations. I don't care how strong the temptation is, you gotta resist it. You gotta ignore, go on. But back to my other point, which is utilizing the people you have around you, meaning that, say you and your ex always went to Starbucks or something, all right? Call up your friend, whatever, and go to Starbucks as much as you can with that friend. Therefore, you don't associate, for example, in this example, Starbucks, with your ex. You want to rebuild that association, so you don't associate whatever place, whatever song, whatever thing. Say, you and your ex have this like song, right? But you still like the song, you still want to play it. Play the song over and over again. You may cry it through, all right? But it'll get to the point where you no longer associate the song with this person. And this could take a while, okay? This process, it's not one that's going to happen overnight. But over time, you'll rebuild those associations. I'm no longer scared to go back to things I liked, maybe when I was with that person that maybe we shared together, because I maybe still like them, but just on my own this time, and that's something you kind of just have to get used to. It is what it is. I'm trying to think of like any more points. Like, honestly, that's pretty simple, but those are the main bits. It's honestly just a matter of doing those over time, to the point where you feel better. Also, I really recommend having a healthy balance of surrounding yourself by like maybe movies, TV shows, music, whatever, art that helps you feel it through, but also surrounding yourself with like art, whatever, music, TV show, like whatever, that's also positive and optimistic, because as much as you're feeling these feelings through, you don't want it, even though it may feel completely bleak at moments, you also want to, maybe like go on Reddit and search up like successful relationship stories, successful love stories and stuff to give you some sort of hope, because as much as you're feeling these things through, you want to have hope and you want to be able to, like me watching this video even, you see me and I'm good now, it's like, oh, okay, he did it, so I can do it too. But you want to also surround yourself by stories and, you know, other people, like, you know, of how they maybe found love again, of how they got through a breakup, you know, and community is very important. It's weird because I say that, and I'm a very kind of introverted. I'm an only child, and I'm like a very independent person. So it's like I say that, but I have no like as much experience as some other do as far as the whole community aspect. But it definitely probably helps a lot. But yeah, just reading through those stories, while also feeling those feelings through, you want to have that healthy balance. So feel those feelings through, but also try to keep your head held high. Keep a head high. I don't know why my words just like got jumbled there. But yeah, I want to make this video too long. That's essentially like the main beef of it. A lot of it is time, but time isn't gonna work if you don't feel things through all the way. And if you don't, like, I'm telling you, and it's not easy. I'm gonna be upfront with you. It's not easy. I had moments where I was just like breaking down, like just terrible, and moments where I just really fell outside of myself. Like I can't trust anybody anymore. I can't function. Like it was just, it wasn't until like kind of this last month, or at least last few weeks, that I've started to feel like me again, like fully me, not me under a layer of whatever, you know, heartbreak, hurt, grief, whatever, you know. So that takes time, but I'm here from the other side to tell you that if you're going through it right now, maybe you're watching this right now, you're going through it, it's all good, all right? But you have to feel those feelings through, okay? Male, female, whatever. You have to feel those feelings through. So that's it, I guess. I'm going to enjoy this ice cream. It's like been melting this whole video. I've been talking and haven't been able to enjoy it, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, you got this. I send my love to you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out my music, I guess, because the next song I'm dropping July 31st, end of this month. It's basically kind of a, I want to call it like a club banger. It's still kind of sad. Not really, I don't know. But it's a lot more upbeat. And if you go to my music, I guess it kind of documents my experience going through it. So listen to that if you want. I don't know. Yeah.